Yo, this hot, this the spot, there it is, pod.com. We're interviewing the best comedians, so tune in quick and get your ears receiving them. We talking about life and laughter, stream right to you, from the microphone right to your home, dude. Side note, this might get embarrassing, but no, don't sweat, yo, cause there it is.
Welcome to the There It Is podcast, a comedy podcast to help you find your inspiration. I'm your host, Jason Farr. Let's do this. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a very fun episode for you today. It is with Portland-based comedian Jaren George, who we got connected through our recent guest, friend of the podcast, Matt Levy. Check that episode out if you haven't already. But first, a thank you goes out to Cameron Smith, who supported the podcast. We very much appreciate all support that we receive. If you would like to support too, you can just go to thereitispod.com and click on the support button. We have Patreon and PayPal options. All right, on to today's episode. We have a really great chat with Jaren George about comedy in Portland and working on Shrill and interactive comedy and also learning through play. It's a really great discussion. Let's get right to it. Here's my chat with Jaren George. Matt Levy, did you meet him doing comedy in New York or somewhere else? Because that's how we got connected, was through him.
Right, yeah. Matt is a good guy. Yeah, through comedy. I think we were on the same show together.
Oh, okay.
That was a while back. I'm trying to remember. The pandemic's like before, or was it after? I think it was a little bit after, yeah.
Yeah, that is the easy way to be like, oh yeah, this thing that happened is just like going by when the pandemic was, but the fact that it was 6 years ago was sort of like, why was it that long ago?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily help anything.
Right, it's that little time block that I hate to use it as an excuse, but yeah, I'm just like, yeah, just things before. I'm just like, yeah, when I was 10, I think that was the last time I knew. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's wild.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in Portland though for a bit, like 8-ish years?
No, more like 13 years. I actually just moved back. Yeah, a little crazy. So yeah, born and raised in New York, and then I went to San Francisco for like 2 years, and then to Portland. I was in Portland for like 11 years.
Wow.
Lived in San Francisco again for like 2 years and learned my lesson. Now I'm back since October. Yeah.
Oh, dang. So what brought you to San Francisco?
The first time it was I got this neat job. I was a youth worker. I was teaching kids or like for them to learn through play. It was just whoa, I'm picking up logical skills to kickball, things like that. Whoa, we're problem solving here. What is this teamwork activity Coach Jaren got us doing? Their mind gets blown away. Well, we don't have to worry about that because right now we're becoming good people. Yeah. Anyways, it was a good job. It was challenging. It was
working with kids.
Active. But yeah, got the job, first full-time job, and it was just a little more opportunities in the West Coast. People were not in my way physically or mentally. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
And then went to Portland. What brought you to Portland?
Oh man, dude, a whole lot of things. It really clicked. One of my favorite bands, the Thermals, was in Portland. I think I started listening when I was in college in 2008. I was, had to listen to something like, studying for the finals, and I didn't go to sleep that night. I listened to all their albums and stuff. I have a good friend, Steve, I knew in 2010. He was my co-camp counselor in upstate New York. And yeah, he told me a lot about Portland. And then I visited there, I think it was April. Yeah, I remember the time, in 2013. And I was like, I love this place. Like a nice little trolley or light rail going out here. The brunch scene is important to them. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah,
I don't think I realized that.
Oh, yeah, you'll realize it. I think it's kind of relaxed now. But yeah, I moved later, like in December 2013, and then that's how it happened.
And there's a good comedy scene out there, so
Yeah.
also enticing, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
when did you start doing comedy in New York?
No, I had a chance in New York. It was one of those pay to play kind of situations.
Hmm.
And it was really nerve-wracking because I did sign up and later I had to cancel because I don't think I was going to get people or I don't know. I was like really like nervous
Oh,
because it was not even like a mic. It was like a show. I was talking to a friend I knew in high school and yeah, he said like, yeah, he signed up and stuff. And I was like, I don't know, this guy was funny. He just does graphic designing and I was gonna do it, but like I was like, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna show up. So, but when I moved to Portland, what really got me was that just seeing like everyone, like the scene there. Like I remember seeing like Ian Carmel,
mhm.
Amy Miller. Amy Miller was the first person who put me on her show in
Oh, okay.
2015. Yeah, Curtis Cook, like all those names, and they were just hanging out this open mic at this place called Tonic Lounge, which is no more, but
Hmm.
yeah, it was it really captivating. Like it was a lot of community feel to it. It was really like I was like, oh man, look at like the cool kids. This is where the cool kids hang out and work out. And I wanted to get better with public speaking mostly, and
Oh,
that's how
okay.
I first started in December 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very common reason for people to get into comedy. And I mean, I teach improv, and that's the most common reason was getting better at public speaking. So it
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah. Especially when you had to like, yeah, work with kids.
Yeah.
I transferred, same job in Portland, and yeah, I was just like, man, I gotta work on my chops here, yeah.
So when you moved to San Francisco, did you do comedy there at all?
When I first moved to San Francisco, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I was doing music. I was in a band and everything, and
Okay.
I lived with a house full of like band
Musicians
folks and
and yeah.
stuff. It was really cool.
Okay,
But
nice.
yeah.
Nice. I always notice a connection or parallel or just a lot of overlap between music and comedy. Have you noticed that?
I think so. Like, when you're telling jokes, I mean, it's up to you. You're not like 5, 6, 7, 8, time to
Right.
dating, like
It's
that.
a different kind of rhythm, I guess, with
Right.
telling
Yeah.
jokes. Yeah.
Right. And timing.
Hmm.
That really goes hand in hand a little bit because, like I'm sitting on the beat, like a little bit. I'm just like 1, 2, 3, and punchline. But there was like probably like a couple jokes I'm thinking about that,
Hmm.
so like things like that. Also, I really started pronouncing or like get my voice a little bit. I'm like more of a mumbler like before, but
Hmm.
now. Yeah, I use my voice more and stuff. So especially with singing, like I was like, I mean, I was not lead vocals in the band and stuff, but there was times people they were just like the sound guy, like, yeah, you gotta put it all up. You gotta be,
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
sing higher, or louder and stuff. Or yeah, even like recording, I would be embarrassed because I was just like, yeah, I can't hear you, Jared. Yeah, we gotta put you up. If we do, it's gonna get grainy. Yeah, so yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting. What made you want to go into music? Was it just playing an instrument that you were interested in at first?
Well, before I moved, I was playing guitar for a while and stuff. But oh, yeah, because I'm living in this place called like it was called Strange Manor. There was a main band there was from the Phenomenauts. They play like punk rockabilly and stuff. And I remember I was sitting in the green room with them, and Trey Cool was like a big fan of them. Came in and like he was he talks a lot, which is crazy. And it was cool to be in such a musical environment and stuff. They let me record with them for their Christmas albums that they do like annually, and it's done really well. And it was a great honor. And I don't know, I was like, oh man, it would be fun to have like a little band, and because there's like a practice space and stuff. It's yeah, that's how it all started. Just got people like off Craigslist. Yeah, the band lasted for a year. We were called Trophy System.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are you doing music now as well as I know you're doing comedy, but
Oh yeah, actually I am back. Yeah, this is before 2013 when I was in San Francisco. We were doing the band thing and stuff. There were songs that I guess that's the thing. You
Mhm.
go in and you want to do your own stuff. I want to do like garage rock and stuff, but it didn't turn out that way because you
Yeah.
have different minds in this band.
Yeah.
And there were songs that were just like, Jared, no, we're good. And I was just like, okay, I'll keep it to myself. And those are the songs that I'm trying to work on. I just finished one, so I'm trying to get like a couple more and
Awesome.
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have plans soon to record, or is it all still just
Uh,
like working on it right now?
slowly but surely. There's a producer that I work with. It's just that he's busy because he needs, the money to like, so he has a second job and stuff. So it's
Hmm.
hard to coordinate with him to get things going and stuff. Like this song is like a 2 minute song, and it took us, let me see how long, like since I would say like early or no, late January.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is it like? Yeah, it's May 1st. So I'm just saying like yeah, it was kind of tedious.
No, I get
Yeah.
that. I mean, like people don't realize how much time goes into audio stuff. Like they listen to a
Right,
song and
right.
it's like you said, like a 2 minute song. They think like must have taken 2 minutes to record it, and it's like, nope,
No,
that's not
yeah.
how that works.
Many takes, many takes.
A bunch of different takes of different parts of it, so it just takes a while. Not everyone's Prince and can do it overnight, like
Exactly.
he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
a million times. But he was a people don't realize like it's tough. It's a lot tougher than people think.
Yep, yep.
So with comedy, what made you really get, you mentioned why you got into it, but what made you get so into it where you're performing as much? Because you've been performing with a ton of people, touring, national touring comics and stuff.
Yeah. I think like it was like a lot of I think I started getting more into like storytelling,
Uh,
and it was kind of like it was fun. I think the first time when I did the open, I burned the light the first mic, and I guess I was trying to play it off. I was like, well, I'll tell you part two next time. And like that was kind of stupid because I'm thinking, yeah, these same people are gonna be back to watch this open mic. So like now where was I? Like that. That'd be silly. And I realized that my friend, my good friend Steve, who my co-counselor from the upstate summer camp in New York. He was my roommate for a little bit too. He does comedy, and he was telling me, "Yeah, Jared, doesn't work that way. So like to be continued kind of thing, So I started like sharpening it, trying to get a little bit more tight on there. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was able to finish it. The 5 minutes, I was like, but I got more jokes, or I want to do like more stories or so, and I started getting more tighter with that, and next thing you develop a good set and stuff. Think yeah, two years later, yeah, 2015, went on Amy Miller's Midnight Mass show. It's always
Uh-huh.
sold out, and Baron Vaughn was headlining, and yeah, it was
Oh
just three
wow.
minutes I
Van Braun's
got.
great. Nice
Yeah,
dude
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. So I did pretty good. I did pretty good. Like I think I did a pud. Yeah, I did a little dick joke. Yeah, that's fine. And ooh, forgot the third one. I think I did like a Portland joke about driving, and yeah, people were just like, yeah, yeah, we do that. I got how it went, but yeah, it was cool.
So, and you've opened with the for a ton of people, as I mentioned, like Joe Pera and Gianmarco, who's blowing up right
Yeah,
now, and Laurie Kilmartin and Chris Gethert
yeah,
and Gary
yeah.
Gulman. So, how did those come about for you?
Let me see. I mean, the biggest one was it's always good, refreshing to know
Mm-hmm.
that, oh yeah, I did all my jokes in Portland, but it gotta work in New York. It just
Yeah.
gotta, that's where I'm from. And I talk a lot about that and stuff. And a lot of it was kind of resembling of the idea of, you live from East Coast, you come to the West Coast. A lot of that really resonated with a lot of folks in
Mm-hmm.
Portland. And I think it resonated with people in New York. And yeah, it was a really fun time going back to, was it QED in
Yeah.
Astoria? And let's see, my friend Gabe, he does like a lot of one-man shows in New York, but he got me on his show. And I think like 2 or 3 months before the show happened, I was like, I saw a post. It was just like Gary Gulman is headlining. I was like, oh, cool. I know. Yeah, yeah. I remember Third Base special, and I think he was on like Last Comic Standing or something, or it was
Mm-hmm.
JFL. Either one. Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, wow, that's really cool. And yeah, I did the show and all, and I think I shook his hand before I went up. And after I went up, it was he's such a great guy, dude.
Yeah.
Like he came up to me like all excited. He was just like, "Wow, that was a great set." I was like, "Thank you." And what kind of like threw me off when he was just like, "Yeah, you put it in most of the New Yorker comics here." I was just like, "Whoa." I just got here, man. And, yeah, yeah, he asked me like, "Hey, what's your number? I'm gonna be in Portland. Let me know if you wanna open for me and stuff." And that's when it still started. And after that, and I think all the times that he came back to Portland, I opened for him. And I think I did one in Eugene as well. That one was fun. But yeah, he's such a great guy and
Yeah.
gives me good advice and stuff. I
He,
remember I was just saying, like, what really kind of put something special to me was that, like, I wanted like really impress him, so I showed up with like shoes, like performer shoes that I was gonna put on, like for my set. And he was like, "Oh, Jared, yeah, y- I like, yeah, that's professional." I was like, "Yes, Gary, but of course," like like that. So it
that's
was cool.
hilarious.
Yeah,
He, I've not really officially met him. I've seen him a ton of times at shows here because he's always doing something. So we've
right,
seen him more than we've seen any other one comic here.
cool. Yeah,
And just like, you pass him when you walk past him and say, "Hey, good set" or whatever, he just has the most warm energy and vibe about him. So I'm not surprised to hear he's a good dude.
right, right. Yeah. God, every time he brings me up, he puts something special on there, and I'm just like, I can't be tearing up and then on stage, man. Just I'm gonna tell him next time, dude, just bring me up regularly, man. Just please. My mom is not in the crowd or anything. You don't gotta, please. Yeah,
That's cool. That's good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's go back to the first time you started opening up for big names.
Huh.
How long had you been doing it, and did you have to make an adjustment, or had you already been doing it long enough that you like knew the score?
Yeah, I think 2022. Yeah,
Yeah, cause yeah,
yeah,
by
yeah.
then
After I
you'd been
opened,
doing it for a while, so
yeah,
you knew how to do a
2022.
tight five.
Right,
You
right.
didn't have
That
a big
was.
adjustment for that then.
Yeah, yeah. It was a little bit before that too. Like they do a little competition here, Helium Comedy Club. I mean, I was very close to making it to the finals, but like being in the semifinals, it was a good feeling, and I think that really started to kind of feel good to know where I sit, like especially comedy or
Mm-hmm.
just how I was progressing. And then, yeah, when I opened for Gary and past that, oh, I won the Portland's Funniest Five competition,
Oh
or
yeah,
not
yeah. I
competition.
saw
It was
there were a
just like
couple
a
of accolades like that when I was
yeah, yeah,
researching.
yeah, in Willamette Weekend. Yeah, that was really huge. And I think that really propelled me to just like, kind of challenge myself. I tried to, send out emails and stuff to like places like, I was driving down to San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
and LA. I did a couple of shows in LA and stuff. And yeah, that was really fun. And, people that I've worked with or friends of mine that moved to LA, it's good to see them and, be on shows. It's really cool, you know what I mean? A lot of the
Yeah.
festivals and stuff. And yeah, and like I said, it is just all the etiquette or just the idea of, networking, just working with folks. There's no HR and stuff like that. But like, I feel that like not only, you being funny, but like in this business, it's like you have to show your worth in ways where it's not just like you got to be funny, but it's like, someone, to hang out in the green room, like, have good awareness or spatial awareness and just knowing that, people are trying to like, you see people work on in their notebook, like, this is not a great time to talk about sports,
Right.
or elbow people. Hey, hey, it's like things like that, simple things. So, yeah, it was really good to kind of start understanding and also seeing how other people work and stuff and picking up cool ideas and tips and see the support. Yeah, it's really cool. And that's something I want to continue doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've opened for people, but it wasn't in settings where there was like the green room element. So I hadn't even thought about when all the comics are in the room. I mean, I've
Right,
only
right.
had that a couple of times, and yeah, like when people are trying to get in their head before the show, you gotta stay out of their way a little bit. And some
Right.
people, the way they get ready for the show is cutting up, but there are a lot of people where it's like you need to leave them alone for a minute.
Yeah, yeah. I, I find decision making like on these kind of like situational, like a lot of those situations that it's like it really important to me to like make good decisions and things like where it's just like, well, am I doing something that's selfish or am I doing
Hmm.
something that's going to be helpful for the group and for myself? So I look at those kind of situations and also, it's the resources that's available to us, which is like the podcast. I read a
Yeah.
lot of the books. One of my favorites, like Tina Fey, like Bossy Pants. Yeah,
Hmm.
that one was a good one of mine. I Yeah, listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of stories, that hear a lot of comments like the green room. Oh, when you experience it, and especially when you experience a comic who's doing the wrong thing and stuff like that, you're just like, ah, cause and effect. Yes, we're gonna stay away from that kind of behavior, Jared. All right, that's not needed here, like that. So all of that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
there's definitely a ton to learn from. I mean, people need to make the mistakes themselves. They can learn from other people's mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, and not only that, like even the humility and stuff like that. One time, I supposed to be the door person for this community. Yeah, he's a pretty big name, and I overslept. I
Mm.
overslept, Jason. I cried. I wept. I'm like, oh, this is over. This is not good. My career is over. But you know what I did?
What?
I fessed up. I still showed up with some donuts to the green room, and face to face. No, I gotta go on social media like I'm so sorry. Not no. I went still, showed up,
Mm-hmm.
chest held high, like, yeah, man, I messed up. I thought I put up my alarm, but I hope everyone's having a good show. I hope things are still going, but what I would do better next time, you know, donuts, boom. And guess what? He still books me, so
That's great. No,
yeah,
a lot of
dude.
people, they sort of, I don't know what it is. People sort of fear taking ownership or accountability, and we don't have a lot of communal examples of that, right? Like we see the public figures, whether they are celebrities or politicians that people voted to lead,
Yep.
they aren't great at, not a lot of them are great at taking accountability and saying, yes, I did something wrong here and I shouldn't have, and I'm going to correct that. It's always dodging, spinning, and then when they can't spin anymore because they're too caught, that's when they start saying all the stuff that they maybe should have said to begin with, but it sounds hollow since they denied it for a month before they admitted to it. So it's like, how much credibility
Yeah.
do you have at this point? Not very much.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm happy you said those kind of examples because like a lot of it too, or a lot of the things I've seen, especially, in the Portland scene here, it's not like it's not perfect, but I see, things that kind of spirals out where, a lot of the things or the attention has to go with greed, fear. And a lot of times the conformity too. There's a lot of times people like really conform with, there's certain cliques and stuff like that. And it's not supposed to be like high school. Again, there's no HR and stuff like that. But like, it's really, I see people kind of like, just making these, bad choices and stuff. And, and like you said, it's something you're gonna have to learn from. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can
No.
make it easier for yourself, like learn it easier, or just
Yeah, you're gonna
keep
have to learn a
spiraling.
lesson either way. So
Yep.
yeah, if you spiral out and crash out over it, then you're gonna have a hard time learning that lesson sooner. Just
Right.
go ahead and learn the lesson. Just chin
Yep.
up.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Now I know you did some on-camera work. You're in Shrill. How did
Yeah.
that come
Yeah.
about? And did you shoot that East Coast or West Coast?
Oh, it was West Coast. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was warehouse style film studio area. Like it's in like south of Portland,
Hmm.
Clackamas County. But like, anyways, it was really really cool. Like I saw a lot of friends. I saw a lot of comedians that I used to work with, and it was a Carmen Christopher. I mean,
Oh.
he's was an English teacher and stuff. And actually, when I opened for Joe Pera, yeah, he featured as well. So yeah,
Cool.
I did not know he was going to be there in San Francisco. So it was good to catch up with him and stuff like that. A lot of and work with a lot of friends and comics here too. The only thing I'm so bad was that like I had like a nice solo speaking part that like it was lengthy that with Fred Armisen because it was like the LSD episode or whatnot. But like yeah, they took it out. I was
Uh,
so mad. But it was really cool to be one of the like I guess the B listed or the people who's just like we have to show up like every episode because we're doing the office guys and
hmm.
gals who just like reporters and and stuff like that and we had to like react to the main characters and stuff like that so it was cool. It was a cool experience. But yeah, I've been trying to get my foot into like more opportunities. Yeah.
Do they film a lot of stuff in Portland or around? Portland now?
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to know where it's like stuff is spread out.
Well, my agent said like she said like it's gonna be like it's gonna be yeah it's gonna be busy this summer and stuff.
Hmm.
But I mean it's May, but nothing like nothing been incoming or like auditions and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I miss the in-person auditions. They kind of started to do that a little bit more, but like the filming ones, oh yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm
hard.
I'm kind of torn about it. I it
Yeah,
helps. It's helpful with as far as like I don't have to travel. Like I don't have to go an hour and 20 minutes round trip for
right,
five
right.
minutes. But at the same time, acting against a reader who is part of the casting department
Yeah,
is better, probably.
yeah, yeah.
Or we do
You
the
know,
callbacks usually in person, but yeah, the self tapes. So you got to set up a bunch of stuff, and then they want a full
yeah.
body shot, and it's like I live in an apartment, man. Like, like
Exactly.
you want a full body shot? It's not gonna look good.
Yep, yep. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, I have like space, but I have a green screen that's put up, and I really don't want to break it down and stuff. So I was like, let me use the green screen. That's fine. It'll show that I'm working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. You get to do that. You do a couple other things. You have an interactive show and a podcast, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are you still doing the interactive show?
It's it's not like a pop-up show or like I'm trying to do like quarterly. It's really hard to start to show up again and stuff like that because here's the thing, that interactive is like I'm trying to do like little mini games in between where the audience wins prizes. And this is not the only interactive show that I'm actually about to start one up. This is the
Okay.
first time anyone knows in June. Hopefully I get the space for it on that day. But I this is my idea for a comedy show. Comedy shows where like, like a stand-up show where, I want the audience I hate it when we have to talk down to the audience before like the show starts, like, hey, no cell phones off, okay? Don't heckle and stuff like that. A little bit, that's fine to do and stuff, but there gotta be a little incentive for the audience. I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, we got the jokes, right? The laugh, but there's that expectation already, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But like I feel audience members can still get validation. And no way, and I think it kind of like stops people from heckling,
Hmm.
where like what I mean validation is something small as like do like a poll. You know what I mean? Like something where it'd be like a fun little trivia, like do little trivia questions in between sets. For me, yeah, I had optimism. That's the
Hmm.
one that I've been doing for a while. And that one started evolving where I want to do like little mini games. Like I did a rock, paper, scissors tournament with the whole audience members for like Blazer tickets.
Yeah.
I did one where like they had to throw like little Velcro balls at the comic, the last comic who was the last comic had to put on like a Velcro suit. Oh yeah, that was fun. I did that one in Seattle. Got to pick up all the Velcro balls afterwards, but it was still fun. And so yeah, it's fun. And with the podcast, improvised tech support call.
Hmm.
Yeah, try to do like just cool things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside the box. So I'm just, yeah, that's what I want to try to do more.
Were the interactive shows, was it a bit of a blend of your stuff that you did with teaching the youth in comedy? Was it?
Wow. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. And I think what's really important for me is I can't really fake any other comedic style or anything like that. I can only do things that I have a lot of like strong skills in, or I feel that I've developed ways, especially like group management. I mean, again, that's what I went to comedy for, like I said, public speaking. And
Hmm.
with that, I'm able to kind of generate ideas, group
Yeah.
management with these kids. Like when it's raining, man, you gotta be quick. You gotta get these attention. You gotta get these kids' attention. It's raining. There's thunder. You know, a lot of people depended on me, just like only Jared can get these kids' attention. We got an emergency.
That's
Yeah.
something
So
else I
things.
hadn't thought of. Was like the rain an issue because you had something planned outside, so now you have to do it inside, or was it that they're
Yeah.
like afraid of the
Y-
of the storm, or both?
Both.
I never,
Both. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, we got the small campers.
yeah.
Or like especially like in the after school program and stuff. You got to pivot. You
Hmm.
improvise, and that's why I took improv classes as well. It all helped me.
Yeah.
And with that, with the jobs that I had, especially with the job where I was teaching kids learn through play, we had like a Bible of games, and I picked out my favorite ones where like I could every time I see a class, yeah, I have to do like PE type classes. I have like a set list. Like I'm doing comedy. I got a set list. I'm like, hospital tag. All right. We're gonna do some tic-tac-toe relay. You know, I had a set list, dude. It all goes hand in hand, and I found it really really fun. It was really really fun to you work in daytime, like work with the youth, and then you do comedy at night and stuff like that. And those skills help me to get host these fun shows.
Hmm.
With a show called Optimism, it has to be fun, and only I can make it really really fun. I put in my bio, I'm like JB Smooth's younger brother. Okay, like what I mean. Like no one expected me to be, I would say like all positive and whatnot, but like I want to have fun and I want to be engaging and I want the crowd to like, we're not falling asleep here, we're having fun. So yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. What skills from comedy helped you with teaching and vice versa? Like, did you notice that skills that you were using to teach were actually also helping you with comedy?
Yeah. Yeah, I think with teaching, it kind of helps me. I don't use like attention getters like with adults, like, hey, if you can hit my clap once, like things like that. But I think with comedy, it also helps me to make things like those attention getters, make it more interesting with the kids. Because one of my favorites is that one is like, if you can hear my voice, clap once, like if you hear my voice, clap 2 times. If you can really hear my voice, clap 0 times. And you sometimes you get one kid like, ah, got you. God, and you making it fun, and I'm adding humor to that. So it's, where kids are now they're engaged, like, oh man, yeah, Mr. G, it's funny. What else you got? They're waiting for our next jokes, well, or like, things like that. But with that, I do like a lot of positive reinforcement with the kids,
Hmm.
that kind of brings it towards where like with comedy, I'm not trying to go like, I like how this person is listening. I like how I'm not doing all that, but like that helps you like with crowd work, like, oh yeah, this is your first time here, things like that. If I'm hosting, get everyone comfortable and stuff like that, giving
Hmm.
out important things or directions and stuff, but still keeping it light, keeping it fun. That's what I mean. It all goes hand in hand
Yeah.
because the attention span, especially for kids with these tablets, that's why I don't work with kids after the pandemic anymore. They're like tablet kids. All right.
Oh, dang.
No,
Yeah.
no more eye contact. I have teacher friends who's like, oh, Jared, whew, we got a lot of work,
That's rough.
and even with the adults, with the phones and stuff, it's hard. So you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got to make sure you keeping it fun, you keeping it light, and you keeping things moving and keeping it, entertaining. So yeah.
Dang. That the tablet kids thing, I didn't realize it was that widespread.
Dude, it's bad.
Oh,
So
that's rough. Oof. So, with coming up with stuff on the fly like that, and also having to observe people in different settings, it just made me think of, we were talking about books earlier. Have you read Steve Martin's book, Born Standing Up?
I always wanted to know what. No,
That
no, I
one's
did
pretty
not read that
good.
one.
That one's
Yeah, yeah.
that one I think is really great. There's
Uh-huh.
something he was talking about in it about after being on stage a lot of times he started noticing everything in the room and adjusting to it. Like if somebody sneezes, he would alter his rhythm so that the joke would still land, the punchline would still land. And you're
Yeah.
like in front of crowds in these different ways, so you're really noticing a bunch of different stuff maybe people don't necessarily have to notice. Like when you're doing a class, there's back and forth constantly, but if you're doing a stand-up show, there's not as much back and forth, so you're like observing the way people listen to you in two different ways. So what kind of observations did that bring and help you learn with your public speaking skills?
Yeah, I think it's like, things are gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what helps you also, prepare is that like you can't get up on stage and then you have to notice everything right away. I mean, obviously like even before
Yeah.
shows, I'm seeing like the structure of the venue,
Mm-hmm.
or if I'm, as a youth worker, if I have a PE class and we're outside, I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's a little bit windy, might have to go inside because yeah, I'm seeing like like leaves and everything flying and stuff, or so just things like that, and making those adjustments, but also a little distractions here and there. That's gonna happen. I think for me too. Sometimes, only a little bit. It's like, those kind of planned ignoring kind of things.
Hmm.
Like there's times where it's just like I could tell even on stage where like if someone drops like a glass, right? It's easy like or and if I have already had like something that happened, I'm not gonna like spend too much time and like if something that's like embarrassing or something that's not gonna be like funny or something that can happen where I'm just like, listen, in my head I'm just like, but like I'll let it go, but it was not really so noticeable. I'll just really
Right.
keep going, so like
That's a
I'm
weird thing to have to get
that's
to
yeah,
do,
does that
but
make
when you
sense?
could do it,
Yeah.
no, it makes, because I remember having to do it of like, oh, that person mumbled something to their partner. I don't think the other people in the audience heard, so I'll just ignore that. But
Right,
when
right.
it's loud enough and you gauge that other people notice it, then you kind of have
Yeah.
to address it.
Right, right.
And it's
Yeah, yeah.
being able to notice the difference while you're
Yeah.
also reciting something you memorized is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
weird skill to have, but you get better at it when you're doing stand up a bunch.
I was gonna say what helped me too, again, going back to that youth work, and is that planning door. That is a behavior management skill that you have to do. Because you're gonna have the class clown, right? Trying to get your attention. Making even back to like if it's like coffee, even just like and you just nah, not today, Billy. The whole like the class just like, oh John, Mr. G is not paying attention to Billy. He's man, like all teachers pay attention to him. He's not like, wow, you know what? This is not even interesting. Anyone could cough. I'm gonna focus on Mr. G, like that.
Yeah,
So,
it really sways the room when someone just takes the power move of I'm not even gonna flinch.
and I love it too. Man, I just love sitting there, just give him the side eye, like, yeah, that's right, Billy. You got no power here. I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're the one
So,
standing up talking to him. Yeah, it gives you
yeah, yeah,
a certain amount of power, or you're the one standing there with the mic.
exactly.
Do you ever have a time where, because I know sometimes comics are like, well, who's the one up here with the mic? Everyone shut up. But you
Oh
don't
yeah.
have a mic in a classroom. So
Right,
like,
right, right.
do you sometimes wish you had like an extra thing that you could utilize in the classroom to be like, hey, while you have this, you can talk. It ain't none of you getting it. Like if you had a microphone in the classroom, you could be like,
Uh-huh.
I could be louder than you. Like
Oh
you can't
yeah,
quit.
yeah. Yeah, that would be good. I mean, one thing would be like, but in a classroom, everyone's sitting like desk and chairs. But like,
Uh-huh.
if sometimes they have like a circle time kind of thing, and like they have like a talking object. Oh, I love that. You're like, go like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. You're just like, oh, Jonathan, are you talking right now? Looks like I have the talking monkey. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you need to be quiet. Right. Oh, that's right. Just like that. And it's just like, oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yes, I gotta be quiet. Yeah. But there's those kind of items. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that I wish to have that as or just like yeah. I mean, I've been kind of weird like telling a dog like I have the
I
microphone.
have the mic,
Remember? Yeah,
kids. Yeah, you
yeah,
bring in like
yeah,
a karaoke machine just so you
yeah.
can do that in a
Right.
classroom.
I
It'd be
like how
hilarious.
like that lady with the vodka in her hand is t listening. I like how
That's
this couple's listening. Yeah.
funny. Well, we've reached the end of the episode. It's time to create something. And
Cool.
I'm curious how someone could develop like an interactive show because I mean, I've not run a show like that. And so what sort of tips would you give to for someone to create a show? It sounds like you have giveaway items that make it interactive, but then tasks or games. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Let's see. For me, again, things that I know that I can really. like bring, especially like I said, the mini games that I taught kids and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I don't force myself to teach like, like board games. All right, there's ones where my manager's like, Chad, you just teach this game. I was like, nah, man, that's stupid. They're gonna say that's stupid. So I want games or do things like or have an idea that's really exciting. Because with that, I'm bringing that excitement, and
Hmm.
I'm bringing those ideas. I'm thinking outside the box.
Hmm.
Using resources, man. I'm very happy that I have an IT degree or know like about technology and stuff. That's one big skill that I have that really helps me kind of like have like use a projector. That's a visual style for the audience members who are not like, oh man, I don't want to just be listening to jokes. I want to see something happening with the screen here. Jared has in the back here. What do you got? Oh, QR codes. Okay, bring up my phone. So yeah. So that's what I mean. Fun stuff.
Anything that people should stray away from other than like board games if they're trying to do an interactive show?
Don't like stuff that will piss them off. We're just like, oh, we're spilling stuff here. Like, what's slime? What is this, Nickelodeon? Yeah, yeah. Things that's gonna like bother people. I gotta go on the bus with slime on. I can't believe I went to this. Nothing. Yeah, just
Fair. Yeah, that's a good point. I did do one show. It wasn't really an interactive thing, but it was like an event that I had to run for a company, and a part of it was just like stacking something, like not cards, but it was like something like see whoever can get it the tallest, and for it to stay there at the end of a certain time, which people were invested, but almost a little too invested because when one fell at the last second, everyone was
yeah.
like, no, it didn't. It was like, I've got a timer. And they're like arguing, and I was like, why do you care? You're not even getting anything. So is that something that people should also try to avoid? Anything that'll get people too riled up if they lose?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that would be one thing. I think this other show that I'm trying to do is called Game Over Comedy.
Uh-huh.
Huh? That's
I
good.
like it.
That's a good title. Okay. So like I'm gonna do an easy one. Jackbox.
Okay.
I'm doing Jackbox. The
Hmm.
comedians are going to be the contestants, or they're going to be the ones
Right.
participating in the audience and doing the
Oh,
voting.
they're just voting. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That'll be a
So,
fun show. Yeah.
and how to avoid, the competitiveness. I mean, I know the comics do. I know I want to book for this because I want ones who can like really are entertaining to do like really fun quiplash words or
Right.
phrases. Nothing like just like poop or I'm not gonna put like immature comedians on there, but ones who are not like having beef or they're like competitive. They're just like laid back and stuff like that. So for something like that, yeah, yeah, I would kind of like think about like who I'm trying to have on the show. If I have a certain type of audience too, I want to make sure like, yeah, that's why I started with Jackbox because like
Yeah.
I'm scared. Game Over Comedy. I want to do other video game stuff like Super Smash Brothers. Woo, that one is competitive,
That's
and I
pretty,
wanted to
yeah.
have. I would have had audience members, compete against the comedians as well. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I
Someone
get
might get
riled.
too mad.
I threw some controllers playing that. And I was thinking like GoldenEye for N64. You know GoldenEye, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. When
You know,
someone picks Odd Job, someone picks the Odd Job character. He's like, nah, man, he's too short. We can't hit him. That's not fair. And another fight happens.
all good tips for doing fun shows. There it is. Thanks so much for being on the podcast, Jaren.
You're welcome. Thank you, Chase, for having me. This was fun.
Keep up with Jaren on Instagram at Jaren.George. He also has a podcast called The IT Desk, which you can find wherever you get podcasts, but you can also follow it on Instagram at IT Desk Pod. And we have a big announcement, as we've alluded to a couple of times. We are recording our first ever live episode as a 10th anniversary special on June 6th at Young Ethel's in Brooklyn. So follow us on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook to keep along with details on that at There It Is Pod. Follow me on Instagram and Threads at Jason Farr Pics. Also subscribe to our comedy lifestyle newsletter and support us if you can. We have a Patreon and a PayPal. Go to thereitispod.com for newsletter and support info, links in bio. Until next time, be good to each other. It's a moral imperative.
The music for the theme song was created by Neil Brooks. The rap was written and performed by Nick Acevedo. The logo for There It Is was created by Jeff Prater. The There It Is podcast is produced by Jason Farr.